Magnificent Seven is directed by Antoine Fuqua and is apparently a remake of two different films that I know nothing about and haven't seen. But it does star Denzel Washington, Chris Pratt, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Ethan Hawke. And this movie is basically a throwback to classic westerns, and it's basically about how Denzel Washington, who is a bounty hunter, gets hired to get rid of this bad guy that's taking over land. He's taking over a bunch of villages, and he's just a really bad guy that wants to take over villages. And so Denzel Washington gets 6 other men to help him take over the village, get the village back, and that becomes the Magnificent Seven, and this whole movie is basically the Magnificent Seven trying to stop this evil bad guy who's taking over villages. Hey, I'm back, everybody! I bet nobody noticed I was gone, but for a while, over the last 2 weeks, I haven't really made a video. I apologize for that. The last video I did was Sully. It's just because I haven't found the motivation to see a lot of stuff, and school has started, so I'm a lot more busy. But hey, I'm doing this. I saw Magnificent Seven, and even though it's on a Sunday, it's kind of late, but here I am reviewing it. Hooray! So guys, I was intrigued with Magnificent Seven. I wouldn't say I was hyped. When I saw the trailers, I thought it looked like a really dumb, fun movie. And I wasn't really excited, but I was intrigued and I wanted to see it, especially because it stars Denzel Washington, Chris Pratt, and Vincent D'Onofrio, which are 3 actors that I really like. And I have to say, Magnificent Seven is better than I thought it was gonna be. This movie is really, really good. I was actually really surprised by how good this film was. This is a legitimately great movie with character moments and incredible action and actual heart to it, which was really surprising. I didn't expect to see that from this film. And the thing that really does carry Magnificent Seven for me was the characters. All 7 characters are good from the Magnificent Seven, but there are characters that they focus on more than others. For example, Denzel Washington is basically the leader, the guy that organized this whole thing, and Denzel Washington is so good. He was so much fun. He's funny at times, but he's mainly a very stern, serious, badass bounty hunter. He was great in this movie. You can't take your eyes off him when he's doing action-y stuff, because his character is so entertaining. And another one of the best characters in this movie is obviously Chris Pratt. He's another one of the main characters, and Chris Pratt never ceases to amaze me. This guy has been killing it in the last 3 years. I mean, he started off with Lego Movie, and then he was in Guardians of the Galaxy, a huge Marvel blockbuster, and then he was in Jurassic World, and now he's in the Magnificent Seven. He's basically the Harrison Ford of this generation, and I love the guy. He's so entertaining in this film. He's so funny, and a lot of people have been complaining that his humor was too modern, and I didn't notice that at all. I thought his humor was great in this film, and Chris Pratt was another character I really rooted for. Also, another thing I really have to commend in this movie was Vincent D'Onofrio. He was awesome! I love Vincent D'Onofrio in Daredevil. His character wasn't so good in Jurassic World, but in Magnificent Seven, he redeems himself, because his character was so awesome. It's funny, because he had like this really high-pitched voice, but he was this big guy, and his voice was really high-pitched. I can't do it. He was hysterical. Also, Ethan Hawke was also great in this film. The guy goes through his own, like, character arc, and he goes through a transformation as the movie goes on that I really appreciated, and he did a really good job. And another one of the main things about Magnificent Seven is the action. The action is so good. It's magnificent. This is definitely one of the most violent PG-13 movies I've seen, because this movie basically is almost R. It's so close from crossing that line, but it doesn't quite. And the action was so good. There are so many entertaining scenes in this film, like the climax and the other action scenes where the guys are killing each other and there's guns fire and swords and knives. It's just so much fun. It has some of the best action I've seen this year, some of the most entertaining, memorable action. I love the action scenes from this film. And another thing I mentioned earlier is that this movie does have a surprising amount of heart to it, especially with the characters, because a lot of the characters have a lot of depth and they have backstories to them, and it was like, wow, I did not expect it, because it actually does have some emotion in it. It's actually emotional at points, and there is emotional rawness to the film, and I was surprised because there are some moments that get you choked up. I'm not joking, I thought this movie was just going to be straight up fun, over the top action, but there actually are a lot of heartfelt moments in this movie that really did pay off. I was so surprised. But also the humor is great. There are so many points in this movie where I was laughing. There are so many good laughs in this movie. It's basically a perfect balance of everything. It has emotion, it has action, it has fun, it has humor. Everything about this movie was very well balanced. It's a movie that knows how to have fun. That's what this movie does so well, especially with the actions, which are just full of explosions and death and guns, and it's just so much fun. But Magnificent Seven isn't a perfect movie. There are flaws to this movie. Like, one of the things I didn't like about this movie was that the villain was not good. I mean, I liked the actor. I thought the actor did a good job while he was there, but the guy literally only has like 3 scenes and he's barely in the film. His motivation was just that he wanted to steal land from people, and I didn't think his motivation was good, and he wasn't in the movie enough. So I thought his villain was pretty weak. And also, there are a lot of moments where the movie stalls. It feels a little bit overlong. Like, it feels like they're just adding in filler just to make the movie reach the 2-hour runtime. Well, it actually is 2 hours and 15 minutes, I think, and I think they could have shaved off a little bit of time, because there are definitely some moments where it feels like the movie stalled, and I feel like it could have had more of a drive if it was faster paced. But overall, those problems don't really affect the enjoyment that much, because Magnificent Seven is such a fun action film with some of the best action I've seen all year, and really great characters and a really good heart to it. So I'm gonna give Magnificent Seven an A-. I was really surprised by how good this movie was. Check it out. It's getting #1 at the box office right now, which is really pleasing me, because this movie deserves to be seen. I really like it. So guys, if you saw Magnificent Seven, leave in the comments below what you thought of it, and be sure to like this video, be sure to subscribe, be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Bye now.